We're going to go ahead and get started with our town hall meeting today. At first, I would like to welcome anyone that is visiting our building. Welcome to the campus of Ashland Middle School. We appreciate your time in joining us today. If you're wondering, visitors, why we see so much red when our colors are maroon, we are rallying in red against drugs. Today at Ashland Middle School, we are celebrating Red Ribbon Week. So today we're rallying in red against drugs. So you may be working with adults. I would also like to take this time to thank our panel that we had with us today. I realize that this was a scheduled day in your busy schedules, that you had to make a personal commitment to the students and the staff of Ashland Middle School. You have to arrange calendars, and that's extremely important for you. But I hope that you understand the importance of this event for the children that are in the gym, to understand their civic responsibilities to the communities that they eventually are going to serve in. So I thank you for your time and your commitment for being here with us. At this time, I'm going to turn the microphone over to our student leader, Miss Leah Green, who's going to work as our moderator, because this is a student-led event. The students also generated all of the questions that you will be responding to today as well. So the students here have really put in some work to prepare. So good job, boys and girls. Before we get started, let's just give yourself a round of applause. Okay, everybody take the microphone.
Hello everyone, I'm Leah Green, fifth grader at Ashland Middle School. I will be your moderator for today's town hall. Due to conflicting schedules, candidate writer and event clerk are unable to attend the event. Our timekeepers today will be Francis Kelly, Sebastian Tibbetts, and Ty McCann. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to introduce themselves and to give an opening statement about their platform and vision for the community. And we will be addressing questions like you, the students, have in mind. The order today's candidates will be announced according to how they'll appear on the ballot. Mayoral candidates, Chuck Charles and Josh Benton. Commissioner candidates, Tim Renfro, Marty Duke, Cheryl Spriggs, Larry Brown, and Richard Seven. You will now begin with the card of Chuck Charles.
Working. Good afternoon. This one works, don't it? I'm Chuck Charles, and I'm running for Ashland Mayor. As a dedicated leader with proven track record of service and success, I believe I'm the right choice for the mayor of Ashland. With a background in law enforcement, community organizations, and business development, I have the experience and the skills needed to bring excellence to our city. I've received a bachelor's degree and a master's degree at Boyd State University in education. I spent 13 years in law enforcement in Washington, D.C. area, Then I returned to Ashland and went to work for the Jesse Stewart Foundation here in Ashland. And there I discovered I was very good at fundraising, developing relationships and partnerships. I spent 11 years at KDMC, 2 years at Town Square Bank, and 13 years with Our Lady of Bethlehem Hospital, all in leadership roles. I raised the funds to build the AK Steel Sports Park and the Hospitality House. I was president of Summer Motion for 14 years during some of its finest years. I organized and planned and raised funds for the first football murals in downtown. While there in 2013 and 2016, I developed the Charles and Betty Russell hiking trails with community involvement. At a similar form, right here, I committed to placing a traffic device, a stop sign, because of the students. You guys raised that concern. The last time we had this, and that I participated, and you all raised concern about that stop sign, and I put one there at the entrance, just right here on Blackburn. I also spearheaded the sale and the development of the Delta Hotel, which was the very beginning of the revitalization. I have been president of Kiwanis, Rotary, Ashland Area Business Boosters, Morehead State University Alumni, Region 3 of the United States Police Canine Association, and many others. What do all of these positions have in common? Leadership. Proven, servant leadership. I am the right choice for mayor of Ashland. And together, I believe that we can do anything as a community. And I will ask for your all vote for mayor of Ashland. Thank you.
We will now hear from our second mayoral candidate, Josh.
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon. It's great to be here. Thank you so much to the students and to the teachers for your work. Any event that you do is difficult, no matter what it is. So thank you so much for doing this. I was born in Ashland in 1982. Earned a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Ohio University. My wife and I live right here in South Ashland. We have 2 children. I was the 4th generation of my family to work for AK Steel. So some of you all remember, or maybe have heard of, I'm sure you've heard of, the steel plant that was here. So I worked there. My father worked there, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather. And because I went to college, I thought, well, I'm not going to work in this thing. Well, guess what? I couldn't find a job. So that's where I started. I started as an intern. I was hired as a supervisor, made my way up to what's called a section manager. At one point, the company came to us and said, we're going to have to close the plant. So on December 30th of 2010, I had to tell almost 300 people that they were losing jobs. It's something that you don't forget. And I was in my 20s at the time, so it was not an easy experience. But I remember being inspired on that day by how terrible that was, but being inspired to think to myself, I'm going to do something in the city to help these citizens in some way. I'm going to come back in my career and do something to help this city. So I went on to work for a few other companies, came back in 2015 to become plant manager of a manufacturing facility in Greenwood County. Currently work for a company called Portable Solutions Group, which is also in Greenwood County, but I've made my life in manufacturing. I understand that world, but started to get involved in volunteer work and working with some of our nonprofits in 2015. Started to think, I think that I can make a difference in the city. And so, what if I run for office? I never thought about doing that ever in my life, but I did. And I was encouraged by our current mayor, Matt Perkins, Commissioner Clark, and I did it. And I became the 3rd person to win as commissioner on the first try. And it was wonderful. It's been an absolute privilege to serve the citizens of Ashland. It's been one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. So in Ashland, we have 4 commissioners and 1 mayor. and everything is done by majority vote, right? The mayor serves as a tie-breaking vote if needed, so that's very important. We've accomplished some amazing things. You have the best water in the state of Kentucky here in Ashland. We won that award this year. That's because of our city employees. Everyone that made that happen in our water plan, it came from a commitment from our commission. So you have inclusive playgrounds in Central Park. Who's been on the new playgrounds in Central Park? They're awesome. They're great. I take my kids there 2 or 3 times a week. So it's been wonderful. And thank you so much for that experience.
Now we will move on to our commissioner candidates. Our first commissioner candidate is Ken Rick.
Thank you so much. Thanks to the faculty here, and all the visitors, and especially the students for having us here. I am Ken Rick. I went to school here in the early 1970s. I'm sure that sounds like a long time ago. For me, it was almost like yesterday. I was talking to Commissioner Gooder just a few minutes ago. We were talking about the old gymnasium. How there was a rope hanging down from about where the basketball goal is over there. And you climbed up that rope about 30 foot. There was a mat underneath it, about an inch thick to catch you if you fell. And that was unbelievable. It's sure changed today. The school looks fantastic today. Like I said, I went here in the 1970s. My son, Robbie, went here in 2002, 2003. He represented the school on the academic team, and he also played football. My daughter went here in 2017-18, and she played basketball here. What I'm hoping to do today is stimulate you that in just a few years, a few very short years, that you all get out and vote. It's a shame that this spring, only 11, maybe 12% of the registered voters got out and voted. What I'm saying is 11% of Ashland chose us 7 to run. 89% didn't vote for some reason. And voting is not that hard. It gets simpler every year. So please let us encourage you to vote. We're all of us sitting up here are politicians. And hopefully the word politician doesn't conjure up some negative taste in your mouth, because we're just people just like you all. All a politician is somebody that's either holding office or somebody that's running for office. No better, no worse than you are. One of my platforms, I have a few, but the one I feel deeply about is treating all areas of this city the same. No area of this city is better than any other area. And the reason I'm bringing that up is my son, and some of you all, I'm sure, live on Dixon Street, or live near Dixon Street. If you've noticed, for the last 4 years, all but about 6 months, that street's been tore up. Working on it. Working on it as they get the money to work on it. I asked you if this was a neighborhood somewhere else in Ashland, would they have worked on it only when they got the money, or would they have got it done? To me, that's not treating all the areas of the city the same. Thank you, and I hope I will say something to you that you will vote for me today.
We will now hear from our next commissioner candidate,
Coach Commissioner, Pastor Marty Booth. I've been a commissioner for the past 16 years, the past 8 terms, and I'm running for re-election. I want to thank Dr. Howell and the staff here and all you students for putting on this forum, for inviting me today. greatest times of my life were at Putnam Junior High School, where in this very, very building. At that time, it was 7th through 9th grade. I was on the football team, I was on the basketball team, I ran track, and I was on the speech debate team. I got paddled a lot too, and so but I had a great time in Putnam Junior High School. And I want to thank you for allowing me to be here today. I'm a lifelong resident of Ashland, seeking re-election. My dad and our family were in business in downtown Ashland for 75 years on Winchester Avenue. My dad was a commissioner back in the 1990s, and so it's an honor to follow in his footsteps in serving the city. I'm a nuts and bolts guy. I'll give you the basics of what a city commissioner is all about and what it's not all about. The responsibilities every day that I try to fulfill, the responsibilities of the commissioner are, number one, to provide good quality city services to the customer, to the taxpayer, in the form of health and safety and quality of life. We have a good police force. We have a great fire department, our sanitation department. You can thank our Parks and Rec. Thank you all the departments in our city that fall under that. Number two, to cultivate an atmosphere that promotes economic development and brings in new businesses to our city. Every month, I get a sheet where hundreds of businesses are filing for business licenses that are coming into our city. Number three, to provide a well-trained, well-equipped, and well-compensated workforce that's accountable to our citizens. We got a great workforce. 300 employees are employed by the city of Ashland. And so for the last 16 years, I've had the privilege to do that. It's been said if serving is beneath you, then leading is beyond you. And for the last 16 years, it's been my mission in life to serve the citizens of Ashland and then be a part of a team that leads the city in a positive direction in the best interest of the citizens. I'm running for re-election. I will cover your vote. I'm second on the ballot on next Tuesday, but I thank you for your support. Thank you.
Our next commissioner candidate is Ms. Cheryl Springs.
Thank you. First, I want to thank the school and the leadership of the school for giving us. I want to thank the student body for coming up with this question and being interested in civics. It's so important that you learn about what your government's doing. So I applaud you today for this exercise of democracy that we're having. It's a great thing. So I'm Cheryl Spriggs, a sitting commissioner. I don't call myself a politician, though. I call myself a public servant because that's what I serve the public. I have more bosses now than I've ever had in my life because everybody in this city is my boss. I graduated Marshall University. I have been involved in my community for a long, long time because I love my community. And I try to do great things here that I would like to see this city have. I started our first children's desk and ran that for 12 years, chaired that for 12 years. I was chairing the Festival of Trees when we moved it to Cameron Arts Center. I was president of Rotary and district governor of Rotary. I'm now region of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and I've been here a lot of times to present awards here for various students who have won a state and division and national. So I'm really proud of that. Recently, I am the chair of the World War II committee that's building the World War II wall to honor our veterans who from Ward County and Ashland. It's being built at the corner of 16th Street and Carter Avenue. I believe in public safety and law enforcement. I believe in reducing taxes and watching spending. I'm rather a fiscal hawk when it comes to that. I believe in government accountability and transparency. I stand for hardworking people. I think one of the worst worst things, troubling things that we have right now is losing our young people or their intellectual property and their talents when they leave their college, they don't come back. However, you'll find is that government can't create jobs. It can only create government jobs. But we can make it easier or be an impetus for people to move here. And that's a goal of mine too, because I want to see our younger people stay here. And so I hope I am number 4 on the ballot. I'm going to ask you to vote for me for city commissioner on November 5th. Actually, Wednesday, you're going to be voting. I'm going to ask you to vote for me for city commissioner on Wednesday. Thank you for your support.
Our next commission candidate is Larry.
Good afternoon. Having a great day? Good. My name is Larry Brown. I'm a previous city commissioner for 16 years. I was actually a school board member for 9 years. County commissioner. Married to a lady. She is now rich and a school nurse. And probably my claim to fame is our daughter. Many of you all may know her. Her name is Robin Brown. And anyone know Robin Brown? How about Coach Irvin? Anyone know Coach Irvin? Okay. Well, she's your math teacher here. That's your math teacher in the middle school for many years. And I was always known as Robin Brown's father. I believe it's his name. Robin Brown's father. But with that said, I want to talk about our community. We're living in tough times right now. We have a lot of homeless people. We need more jobs in our community. We need to focus on that. We need to look at housing. How are we going to build housing? And I can't remember the last time that we had a structure housing in the city of Ashland. We need to focus on that. I look around in this group here, and I got to tell you, I see a lot of doctors, lawyers, I see friendly politicians, I see elected officials, mayors, and you are our future, and we're counting on you. And I got to tell you, these questions that we receive from you all, some of the best questions I've received from you at all. You all did a fantastic job. You all need to correct yourself, okay? You did a great job, and I'm going to keep those questions. Thanks.
Students, thank you for your thoughtful question. A little bit of background. Me, I'm president of Ashland High School. 2 years community college, 15 central work progress back in grocery. Finished up at UK thanks to summer jobs in Arkansas. Went to law school there. After law school, I became a special agent with the FBI. And served bank robbery and fugitive squad in Kansas City, organized crime in Chicago. Came back here to practice law school. My wife Francie is a math teacher and community I was privileged over 38 years to serve as a city attorney. Approximately 1 year as a city manager. In that period of time, I worked with 25 commissioners, 10 mayors, and 13 my first time to run for we have a city manager form of government, 4 commissioners elected in the mayor. They're the legislative authority and executive authority. They hire a city manager who becomes their chief administrative officer and carries out their policy. The election is nonpartisan. We don't run as Democrats or Republicans. The only other qualifications are that you live in Ashland for a year before you run, that you're a registered voter, you're over the age of 18. So you guys aren't too far from being able to run. As a mayor, you have to be 21. I believe that local government is the most impactful and accessible government affecting our day-to-day life. Ashland has the benefit of great work, finance, police, fire, utility department, sanitation, water department, public works. The greatest responsibility of the elected body is to provide city services to the citizens at the least possible cost and to operate within its budget. On major city projects, there's the obvious need for dissemination of information and for adequate community participation and input. Thank you for being here.
We will now have the opportunity to ask additional questions, which candidates will have up to a minute to do. Chuck Charles, how can we increase safety in our community, especially at schools and public places like Central Park? How can we increase safety in our communities, especially at schools and public places like Central Park?
That's an excellent question. And when I was at Our Lady of Belmont Hospital, I established a community-based organization called Healthy Choices, Healthy Communities. And as elected mayor, I will bring this back. But it's a collective effort to take care of things like that, not just the government. We can't ask government to do everything for us. We have to be a part of that government. And this organization that I put together involved everybody. It involved law enforcement. It involved the healthcare, pathways, Hillcrest Bruce Mission. All of these organizations can come together to help us increase safety, increase walking. Actually, one of the tasks that we had as Healthy Choices and Healthy Communities was develop a walking city. And we would start measuring out all the different locations, how far it was to Kroger's, how far it was to the mall. We need to do that again. And make all of our local communities, your neighborhoods, more walkable. Because we all live in individual neighborhoods that would serve well to have some type of safety involving good sidewalks and that kind of thing. One of the things that I think we need to get involved in is more foot patrols in Central Park. As a law enforcement officer in Washington, D.C. area, we were required to spend at least 1 hour of our patrol time in a foot area, walking foot traffic. I think you can, it's very visible to see that officer walking in the park. And when they're walking, they can see a lot of different things. If there's drug use, if there's individuals that are undesirable in that neighborhood, or for that city park. I think they could be a strong, prevalent deterrent for those type of areas. So there's a lot of things, and it's a multiple faceted thing, but what I want to get across is it's all of us that need to come together to solve a problem, not just one entity.
Mr. Josh Payne, what role does the city play in funding our school resource officers, SRO, at the middle school? And can we improve security in our schools by providing more SROs?
Well, thank you very much. And in addition to our school resource officers, our police force, so we have a police budget now of over $8 million. We've added to that significantly over the last 4 years. Every request we've had for officers, we've approved. And we have some officers here today. So let's give our officers a round of applause. Thank you so much for taking out in and around the city. It's amazing the situations that they have, just interacting with citizens that no one ever knows about. I appreciate you so much. Our school resource officers, so we do approve those. We have those requested to us. So again, the request comes through the city staff and the city manager. In this case, it would come from the police department and for the request for the school resource officer. So we've requested every request that's come to us for that. Obviously, there's a collaboration there between the schools, the city staff, city management, and us that takes place to know the need and to know if increasing is warranted. So I will say that if our school system decides that we need more school resource officers, 100% I'll be in favor of that. Unfortunately, I've visited some places where there's some terrible things that have happened, and I don't have to tell anyone how impactful it is to hear that. That's the father of two young boys. I trust our school resource officers to keep our children safe.
Lastly, Mr. Tim Renfro, how can the city help prepare people who are released from jail to reintegrate into society and job training and other support?
Thank you very much. A lot of that lies on the Boyd County Fiscal Court also, other than the city. The jailer, hopefully he can provide some training while the inmates are still incarcerated. Once they're released, the city now has started a program of actually training some people to work for the city. And I would look into seeing the non-violent people to come down and train with the city. And if I may, can I piggyback off what Mr. Blanton said about the SROs? When I worked for the city of Ashland, I worked there for 24 years. I was a police officer. I retired in 2017. Then Bobby Jack went to the Sheriff's Department, called me, and I took a job as an SRO. I was an SRO for 5 years. I'm one of the few people in Ashland that is actually certified as an SRO. So I believe in 2019, the state passed a law saying that all schools would have an SRO. But in the same sentence, it said funding permitted. So what they're saying is you have to have an SRO, but we don't know how we're going to fund it. And I realize that what we're here today is talk about running for commissioner, but there's a thing you may or may not have heard of called a down ballot issue. Very important this year is Amendment 2. Amendment 2, if passed, will take some money from public schools and give it to private schools. When you take money from public schools, one of the first things it may, I'll say it will, it may hurt. It's funding for an SRO. The public school doesn't have the money because it lost to the private school. Are you guaranteeing an SRO? And my answer would be, maybe not.
Mr. Montague, why is there such a large population of homeless people in Ashland? And what are your plans to address it?
Well, we do have a homeless problem in the city of Ashland, as you see, not as bad as our neighboring cities across the river, but we have so many places where they can be helped right now. Sometimes that's a curse, because the more you give, and the word gets out, and the more people come to our city looking for assistance. And sometimes it's overwhelming. We have the neighborhood, and you get free clothes, free food, 3 meals a day. That's a good service, but sometimes that is taken advantage of. Some people want our help. The people that scam us are the people that are on the street corners. Those people are not needed. We have a tail on those people, and we know where they go, and we have, they aren't legit. But we try to help our homeless as much as we can, and by feeding, by housing, by clothing them. And so it's a complex problem because you have drug abuse and you also have mental illness that plays into that. I brought a graph right here that talks about our local assistance for substance abuse. You know, a lot of times we try to help somebody, they don't want our help. How would you like a place to stay? Well, I don't want that. I like where I'm at, on the river or in a tent or someplace. And sometimes they refuse that help. So we want to help as many people as we possibly can. It is a complex, hard problem, especially when you're dealing with substance abuse, and you're dealing with mental illness, which is, by the way, is the number one problem in the community. The Boyd County Sheriff's Department told me last week, I said, what's the number one problem? Mental illness. We've taken 90 people to Eastern State Hospital in the last 6 months to try to help them.
Next question is for Sheriff's Office. What measures can you take to provide more affordable housing for struggling homeless and itinerant families in our community?
Unfortunately, this whole country has a housing shortage. It's just not Ashland. There's a shortage everywhere. And oftentimes, and I think it was stated before, the city is not the business of providing housing. There are plenty of, there's HUD housing here, apartments here, but we have torn down 80 houses this year that were abandoned, that were in terrible shape, and with the hopes that people will come and build many houses, and with those people in mind, little cottage houses. But there's plenty, when you're talking about the homeless and itinerant, many of those people, as Commissioner Booth said, don't want to go into a home or a shelter. It's a kind of a strange thing, and you, as I, probably can't understand why they would do that, but you know, for some reason, they don't want to, and they don't pay taxes, and they don't have to answer to anybody, maybe that's it, don't know. But actually, the city also funds a lot through the federal government, through CDBG funds, to help housing, people get housing. So we do that all the time as well. But again, the city doesn't build housing for anybody. you.
My next question is for Larry. What plans are there for economic development in downtown Ashland to prevent businesses from abandoning?
If I understand the question correctly, we're talking about economic development for downtown Ashland. As we look at our downtown, it changed completely from the roundabout. The businesses that are downtown, some of them are thriving, some of them are having a hard time. But we need to gear up our economic development department, and we need to look at creating attractive good paying jobs. We've lost AK Steel, actually the power company is building Central Avenue across from the library. Now vacant. I was there, and there were over 100 people there. And we need to look for jobs that can not only fill downtown, but we have the resources, the infrastructure, we have the rail, we have the Ohio River, that we can bring industry back to Ashland. We need to work with those types of jobs. If you want to keep your students here, that you don't have to leave our community to get a good paying job. We want you to stay here, and we need to focus on those types of jobs. Yeah,
The last question is for Richard Sunnyman. Are there any plans to bring new entertainment options to Ashland, like modern arcades or recreational facilities for young people?
We're primarily talking about private enterprise doing these kinds of things. They need to be encouraged to bring new entertainment facilities to downtown. Paramount is clearly the foundational entertainment source for the city. I think our park system does an outstanding job with events that are held in Central Park and down your small business is what acts as a generator of all our jobs in this country. And entertainment is one of them. We have to encourage most of those things when they're available. But I'm primarily interested in basic services and ensuring that those are maintained at the highest level. But certainly, quality of life, YMCA, with Paramount, with outdoor facilities that we have, lend themselves well to encouraging people to come to our community because of quality.
Thank you, candidates. We will now hear from you one final time for a closing statement. Please keep your closing statements brief. Our timekeepers will give you a wrap-up warning at 1 minute and 50 seconds. We'll start off with our mayoral candidates, Chuck Fox.
Thank you all very much. I think each one of us, and I'm probably speaking for everyone, we've really enjoyed our time here with you this afternoon. But I believe it's time to prioritize the needs of our citizens and the businesses before focusing on superficial improvements. Together, I think we can make a real difference. And I'm talking about all of the community. I believe in working collaboratively with all the stakeholders involved, including the city commission, businesses, schools, governments, and the community itself. By listening to the voices of all of the community Ashland citizens and creating strong partnerships, we can build a stronger, more prosperous city. As I did as mayor before, I will bring us all together for a common cause in our city. Is it essential to return to the basics of responsible budgeting? We cannot afford to continue overspending on projects. I have a plan to prioritize strategic planning and budgeting for projects and improvements for our city. Together, we can make and achieve great things for Ashland. With my experience, my leadership skills, and bringing people together with my vision, we can create a thriving and more prosperous city. I hope you will take this, what we've talked about it today, take it home and discuss it with your parents, with your loved ones, with your neighbors, your friends. And I hope that you will see and encourage them to vote. And I hope you will see that I will be the best choice for mayor of Ashland, Kentucky. Let's work together and make a difference. Together we can. And I'll end with this. Once a tomcat, always a tomcat.
Our next closing statement will be from our second mayoral candidate, Josh Blake.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to stand up because I'm a little bit behind here too. The last 4 years for my family has been absolutely amazing. I've gotten to know a lot of you that are here today because we're doing different events on the telescope now. Not ringing the bell for some of you. But it's been absolutely wonderful. And one thing that I've learned throughout my career on independence and servant leadership, the idea of serving people according to their needs, not taking credit for things. The commission that we've had the last 4 years, we've done some amazing things. Our mayor currently and myself, you will never hear us say, I did this or I did that. We just don't speak that. We are we. We did it as a city team, city employees or city commission. It's incredibly important. So to take nothing away from today, think about who spoke in terms of we and us, not I. I believe that the position of mayor in the city is incredibly important. Of course, you have to have the skills to know financial decisions. Everything that happens in city building is incredibly important for your lives. But also, there's another part of the job that's very important, and that's being an advocate for the city. Being able to talk in Frankfurt, talk on the national level, being somebody who is so excited about our city, about our young folks, and what's going on here. That's something I love doing. Ashland is our purpose, my family. Every single day we talk about something that's happening in the city and the way we can make this place better. I think back to those people who lost their jobs on that day in AK Steel. That's why we're doing it. That's why we're here. And so we have momentum in the city. Everybody's probably seen murals and streetlights and things like that. That's great. But we also have a whole multiple crossroads down there. That project is not about roundabouts. It was about pedestrian safety and walkability, being able to cross the street easily. So our businesses can do that. So there's a lot more to what we have to say today. I have every social media you can have. My TikTok has literally every subject of every city issue. Please go on that, at Josh Blanton, AKY. Thank you so much. Appreciate your vote on November 5th and on Wednesday. Thank you.
We will now move on to our commissioner candidates. Our first candidate for his closing statement is Tim Renfro.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the opportunity to work today. Hopefully, I have, or one of my colleagues up here, have said something today that will stimulate you all to want to vote. not only vote Wednesday, but vote when you turn 18. I've heard a lot of young people say, well, I can't wait to get out of this town. There's nothing to do. Change it. You have the power. Get the power. Go to the ballot box. Make that change. Be the candidate. It's not that hard. We've heard a lot about plans today. Remember what Mike Tyson said about plans? He said everybody's got one that gets hit in the mouth. Sometimes we have to do things on the fly. I want to impress on you to stay in Ashland. Make Ashland better. Make Ashland better than what it will be when we leave. I'm number 1 on the ballot when you get your ballot to vote. Please vote.
Our next commissioner candidate for the closing statement is Marty Hewitt.
It's been a pleasure to be with you here this afternoon. I've been an assistant with the Ashland Tomcat football team for the last 21 years. And on the wall of the locker room, we have 7 core values. I try to live by those values. I try to govern by those values. Discipline. We, not me. It's never about me. It's about you all. It's about my service to you all. Toughness. Being comfortable when you're uncomfortable. Another, being able to take criticism with grace. Do the right thing. Be on time. Attention to detail, and day by day, get a little bit better. Make your city a little bit better. I view this as a full-time job. I wake up in the morning, I make my rounds around the city and all the different projects that we have going on, and then I end up at the city building. And I try to make the town a little bit better than I found it. I take emails and phone calls at all hours of the day and night, and I'd like to continue as a team, working as a team. Being part of the Tomcats is a team. It's a team effort. Being part of the city team is a team effort. With our city manager, our department heads, and our 300 employees, which is our greatest asset of our city, is our employees. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Middle School. And go Tomcats.
Our next commissioner candidate is Cheryl Spriggs for her closing statement.
Well, I want you to know, I'm Cheryl Spriggs, and I believe in the future of Ashland, and that's you. And this commission believes in it so much that we earmarked $19 million for infrastructure. That's your future. We've laid thousands of feet of sidewalk, thousands of feet of sewer lines. We have been voted the best water in Kentucky. It's so good that there was even talk we'd start bottling our own water and selling it. On the recreation side, we have world-class parks. Our park system is unparalleled. With our sensory garden, we've spent millions of dollars. We have the new pool finished this year, which is $800,000 to do that pool. This is all with you in recreation and the things for our children to do. Our parks that we built a skate park over in AK. We tore that down and got some skateboarders involved. And I'm saying we, because all of us who are sitting on the commission right now have our passions. We have the things that we love. But we all say we because we have to work together to get it done. So we bring those things to the table, and there is planning. There has to be planning. You can't jump into something with no plan. So, I want you to know I believe in you. I believe in the city of Ashland, and I believe in its future. I want it to be so bright that you stay here once you or come home once you graduate from college. I want there to be a great job waiting on you, and I want you to be close to your parents. Please vote for me. On Wednesday, get your whole family to vote for me on November 5th and number 4 on the ballot. Shine bright for Ashland. Thank you.
Our next commissioner candidate for the closing statement is Larry Brown.
Well, it's been a wonderful afternoon to answer these questions. If you have an opportunity to see candidates for your next commission, I'm going to say this: we have excellent choice, and it's really difficult. I want to bring experience to the table, and let me based upon the question. I don't think the answers are out there. And what I like to see, no matter who next commission the mayor, that we form an advisory board here at the middle that meets several times a year to discuss these concerns and the future issues. And I hope that you all participate in the commission work. But I wish you nothing but the best. I tell you, I would not want to live any place else right here. Thank you very much.
Our final closing statement from our commission candidates is Richard Sonny.
Thank you for your attention. It's almost over. I gotta say, we're all proud to be Tomcats girl. I get it. I want to also remind you that there is a great challenge and no greater reward than being in public service. I encourage you to engage in public service from an early age. Find an ally for work. I remember well the influence of teachers that I've had in my life. In fact, I've got a photo of my grade school teachers in my office. I remember a lawyer coming to the high school on career day, the impression he made on me. I remember the exact meeting that we held on me. Then in law school, the speaker talked to my class about being a city attorney in a small Kentucky town, and how his work was challenging, and he had the benefit of contributing to his community. Stuck with it. I remember my first vote in the '64 presidential race, Johnson against Goldwell. I come home from UK, come right back, and I voted. I probably should have gone to Madison. And I'm not advocating Kentucky. If elected, I hope to be responsive to concerns of citizens, taxpayers, businesses, and property. The office is at 431 16th Street. I'm there from 7:30 in the morning up to 5. My email is rmartin@mwlaw.com. Cell phone 571-0006. If you have any questions. If you call and I don't answer, leave a message, I'll call back. If elected, I hope to be responsible. We're in this together. I encourage you to get involved and vote at your earliest opportunity. Thank you very
much. On behalf of our staff and students, we would like to thank you for your time. Students will be voting this week in the mock election, and we will publish the results on Facebook. Students, please stay seated for your special instructions.
Very, very good job to everyone involved. Again, to the visitors, thank you so much for taking time out of your personal commitments to do this. Boys and girls, as always, you were amazing. And I want to just leave you with this. All lessons that you will receive at Ashland Middle School today may very well be the most important one that you'll ever get. Truly understanding our civic obligation to the communities that we live in and that we serve is our obligation. It's our obligation to do our part to make sure that our community is better than we found them. So this is a very important lesson. Take it home with you. And because of that, there are some people that we need to give some special recognition to who worked very hard to put this together, and they're currently hiding behind the curtain. So I would like to have Ms. Lee, Ms. May, and Mr. Harmon come out and receive the recognition that they deserve. They never want any credit. They do all the work, but never want any credit. The boys and girls can give them a nice round of applause. I was speaking with Ms. May last night about the auditory audio system that we had. We did a special order just to get this stuff in for our town hall. And it wasn't in yet, and I told her, I said, it doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about it. Mr. Harmon has a plan. And he was actually putting this sound equipment together 30 minutes when it just arrived our building, like 30 minutes before this started. So it takes teamwork to make the dream work. So thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. Okay, at this time, staff, I'm going to give some instructions. Mr. Harmon's going to need some time to break all of this down. So when you dismiss, please return back to your 7th period. We will not be going to advisory. So when you dismiss, you are going back to 7th period. Thank you. You guys are amazing.